Hello everyone, Brendan McCauley with Humanum Project. In today's question and answer, we have a pretty vulnerable, honest question, and it is, what would you tell someone who has a very broken sexual past or who struggles greatly with sexual sin? So we all, just being human, we're all sexually broken. We're all sexually wounded. We all are in need of healing and redemption. And in this video, in this answer, I don't want to just talk about ways that we can seek healing, like counseling or different programs or books or retreats. I just want to speak hope into you if you're someone who struggles with sexual sin or just has a broken sexual past. So the first thing I want to say is our sin doesn't define us, and it doesn't change our intrinsic infinite value. Your value, baptized in Jesus Christ, is that you are a beloved son and daughter of the Father. You are made in God's image and likeness. This infinite intrinsic value that you have doesn't change. Your sin doesn't lower your value. Your sin doesn't define you. And we got to be attentive to the voices we're listening to within our sexual sin. Is it, look what you've done. How could someone love you with that past? You're not worthy. These are from the evil ones, and we got to reject and renounce them. And we have to open our hearts to the Spirit of the Lord, who proclaims truth into our lives, that you are enough. My cross shows that you are worthy of love, even in the midst of your sin. You are good. All right. So I just want to make that very clear, that your value does not change. The second thing I want to say, it might come as a shocker, but if you have a very broken sexual past, if you're struggling in sexual sin, you can become a heroic saint and witness to the mercy and love of God. What do I mean? Well, what do we see in Scripture? That there was a woman who was committing adultery, but she turned to Jesus, knelt down at his feet and wept, bawling her eyes out, crying, asking for his mercy. And Jesus says, because you have been forgiven much, you love much. That opening, that deep and dark part of her story, sexual sin, to the mercy of God, it allowed her to experience the mercy of God in a way that a person who doesn't have that past can't experience. So I'm not saying to people, go out and sin like crazy, because then if you've been forgiven much, you love much. That I want to be a heroic saint, and so I'm going to go out and sin first, and then I'll turn it around. I'm definitely not saying that. Because if you're someone who has not struggled greatly with sexual sin, or have a greatly sexually broken past, we might say, you can still be an amazing saint in your own unique way. But I want to just say to the person who might have a broken sexual past or is struggling right now in sexual sin, is right in that, right now, by turning it to the mercy of God, you can truly become a heroic saint and witness to the love of God, like Saint Augustine, like Mary Magdalene. And lastly, if you haven't yet, make a good confession. So often when it comes to our sexual sin, our sexual past, we don't want to really admit to it or bring it fully into the light. I remember I went to confession one time, and I finally just told the priest everything. Like, I didn't try to sugarcoat it. I didn't try to make it look nice. I just told everything to seek greater healing, to seek greater freedom. And I'll never forget, the priest was wearing glasses, and he took off his glasses kind of in shock, like, whoa, this guy's really telling me everything. And I'm like, yes, and I am loved right there. And right in that moment, there was great freedom. So those 3 points, I just want to reiterate one more time. If you have a really sexually broken past, if you're struggling right now in sexual sin, know this: your value does not change. You are still his beloved. Number 2, you can become a heroic saint and witness to the love and mercy of God. And number 3, make a good confession. I'll be praying for you. Please pray for me. If you found this video helpful, if you found it hopeful, I invite you to share it with anyone. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we hope to see you in the next video. God bless.